set it off. Go to Vegas, bet it all. Put it on the Bucs win, whoever they gon' play gon' fall. Don't say I ain't told y'all. Loose cannons gon' fold y'all. Yeah, the Heat be 9-3, but it gets real cold in the fall. That's when the season start. Bucs come in 40 hard. Win after win, ripping the division apart. Panthers, they pussycats. Falcons got bird flu. Take the Ravens and Dolphins and open up a zoo. Cause one thing's for sure, better than the Bucs, they show lane. And every day in Tampa Bay, we say fuck the Saints. We in Tampa Bay, baby. 813 going crazy. Tampa, boy. This Bucs podcast be the greatest. Loose cannons blasting on them haters. And we in Tampa Bay, baby. Tell them where you from. 813 going crazy. Yeah. This Bucs podcast be the greatest.
What is up, Bucs Nation? It is Wednesday, June 11th, 2025, and you're watching the greatest Buccaneers podcast of all time, the Loose Cannons podcast. I'm your boy, the Samurai Ali, hanging out with my pale, Slim Jim smoking son of a gun, stank bastard. And of course, in the intern closet is the return of, by the way, Izzy. Now, before I get started, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to visit our awesome new website, loosecannonslive.com, where you guys can listen and or watch every one of our episodes almost immediately after we're done, up to date, constantly taken care of by the herds of interns that I now employ under my tutelage and guidance. Okay, and of course, you can also link right through that website to our awesome new Discord, which includes a plethora of fun things. And somebody's talking in the background, so I'm about to fire an intern, Stank. I mean, Stank, what's going on right now?
What the fuck is happening right now?
I don't know. There's someone
talking. Starting on time was bad luck. What is that shit?
I know. Finally get a show on time. Izzy, what the fuck, dude? You can't do whatever you just did.
That wasn't me. That was not me. That was not me.
Oh,
That was not me. I was silent the entire time.
Somebody in your house speaking.
I heard a Spanish accent in the background.
I heard a Spanish accent. Yeah, that's right. All right. Anyway, Stank.
Oh yeah, that's La Familia. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Mute yourself when I speak. All right. Make that a fucking lesson learned. All right. Last time I'm gonna say it. Stank. Bucs are at mandatory minicamp, okay? The shit that doesn't matter is gone. The camp that matters is now here. Everyone on the roster is in attendance. Everyone looks glorious. Everyone's getting a nice sweat, going on, whether they're standing, whether they're practicing or not. And you know what? I got to ask you, because you are down the street, and I always ask you this question. Does it feel different out there right down the street from One Buc?
Yeah, there's a musk in the air. Right? All right, and it's not Elon. Hey-o. No, yeah, I can sense it. We can feel it in my community. Everybody knows there's big boys out there.
You can feel it in the air?
Lighting it up. You can feel it in the air. You can smell it in the air. Yeah, it just feels good. It feels good that balls are being handled. That we're getting hands-on balls. According to Jen Lane, lots of balls.
Lots of balls.
Everybody's got their hands on balls. I mean, how can you not be excited?
I mean, in this kind of weather, they're slick balls. But you know what? Hands on balls at any time of the year is always good. But you know what? A lot of people are making a lot of noise, Stink, last week about one Haason Reddick not at, voluntary camp, not at OTAs with the rest of the guys. And listen, we got a sneak peek of this man in the red and pewter, which we're only probably going to see once the entire season. But nonetheless, the new number 5 minted across his chest in his new uniform. And oh my God, does he look amazing. I mean, Haason Reddick looks amazing. And to the people who asked why he wasn't at camp, he addressed that. And he said, you know what? I wanted to focus on finishing what I started to make sure I was in shape for this week. And Stank, listen, he looks amazing. His physical build, he looks fucking beautiful.
Yeah. It's funny because I just got done listening to Todd Bowles' press conference before we started the show. And Todd went as far to call him a leader. Okay.
Wow. Day one.
You're like, is he going to show up? Is he going to pull a Randy Gregory? Is he going to go to Japan and cosplay again? What's going to happen with the guy? No, not only is he here, he's out there coaching. He's coaching up Yaya. He's coaching up whoever needs it, that guy's out there, basically assistant head coach right now. So fuck all you guys who were worried. I wasn't worried. And I worry about everything. I mean, everything.
Yeah. So him and Yaya and Walker, all these guys going back to even to OTAs, but specifically these first 2 days of minicamp have been getting pretty saucy back there, getting in the backfield, making plays stank. So I got to ask a really, really, really early question. Do we have a top 5 defense in the making here? These guys are flying around in the front 7. We got a plethora of pass rushers that are going to be coming in waves, in my opinion. And seeing the photos with Haason standing there next to Yaya, and then we got Vita next to him, and then we got Kalijah Cansey on the other side. Like, I feel like we got something special on the defensive side, especially up front when it comes to rushing these passers, man.
We got 5-0 in the middle, right? We got 5 on one end, 0 on the other. I mean, is this we got like a nickname for this defense? Is it, we got to call 5-0? 5-0 going to pull up? Is it Hawaii 5-0? What's going on? There's a theme going on right now. Clearly, we're not wearing pads, and it's just underwear football, and everybody's just mushing each other out there. But right now, it seems like the defense is dominating the front 4. And then, we got big boy in there that counts for 2. So the front 6. Yeah, bro. I'm excited. I'm excited for that shit.
I mean, it just, obviously underwear football, but they're flying around there. It feels like the defense got faster, especially up front. A guy like a Greg Gaines might be a camp casualty. we don't know how these guys are going to show up. Obviously, you got the 2 rookies in Elijah Roberts, you got David Walker. But man, if these guys make impact and showcase their speed, which apparently they have the first 2 days from everything we've read and seen and watched, these guys are going to be fast. And you know what, Sank? I do think we have a top 5 defensive potential on this roster right now. For the first time in a very long time, I really do feel like we have the makings to be a very good contending type of defense, to where even if the offense does stub its toe a little bit, if we just play a little bit better than last year, we're probably okay, right? But I think we could be a special defense. And a few times that I was talking to Todd, that word special did come up. So, yeah, I mean, I'm excited, man. And you know what? I don't know about you, but I'm as excited about Haason. I remember as kind of similar to how I felt when Simeon Rice joined this team. I'm trying to think back between that moment and now, if there was a pass rusher we signed that really got me this excited. There really wasn't. And not to knock on Shaq Barrett, because, he hadn't really produced yet. He wasn't a big name. Obviously, we got JPP towards the end of his career, so I wasn't expecting what we saw from him. But this one just feels like Simeon Rice to me. He's coming in with a chip on his shoulder. He heard the noise. He heard the noise, Stank. He heard the noise. Everyone's talking shit about him. But not only was Todd Bowles the guy to take his back, but he kind of said, I just had to make sure I was in complete shape. And he's obviously leading by example. And guys are looking at him like a leader. Day 2, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, nothing better than getting talent that's down on their luck, right? He's making no money. Everybody's talking shit and questioning his ability.
Can't buy groceries.
Can't afford to buy groceries. And, I like it. Just like our GM, it sounds like he may be writing things down, might be keeping receipts because he's looking for a payday. We've got a lot of hungry guys on this defense right now, that are looking to prove themselves. Yaya's got to prove himself. Right? Cansey's got to stay healthy, and live up to the hype, because when he's been healthy, he's looked unstoppable at times. Vita's going to be Vita. And then we've got a whole slew of guys in the secondary that have to prove themselves, including 31, according to a lot of Bucs fans who doubt that guy for some reason, who were like, oh yeah, Antoine, whatever. He's could be one of the best players in the NFL. Much less the best defender on this football team. So watch your P's and Q's. But I hope he's heard all the doubters too. Then you got a guy like Levante, or everybody's like, he probably should have retired and he's going to be in and out. I just feel like there's a hunger. There's a hunger on this team right now. Our friend of the program, good friend of ours, Rashad White, said this team is starving. He's starving. No, not hungry. Starving. So I love that shit. Famine mentality is how you get far in life.
And you know what, man? Speaking of starving, the Bucs offense is as good as they were last year. kind of left us lacking in terms of the big playability, right? The quick scoring ability, the deep shots down the field. And we talked all offseason when we moved to Grizzard as the offensive coordinator that they were going to start exploring going down the field, right? And it feels like Baker's big, deep ball era is on the horizon, Stank. A lot of shots down the field, not only with Baker, but also with Kyle Trask, who apparently has been balling these first 2 days, okay? Yep. But you're seeing a lot of bunch formations designed to get guys, breaking loose with confused defensive looks, bunches that are made to, get down the field. A lot of the stuff that you saw McDaniel doing in Miami, Grizzard's bringing that now into the mix, which is different because last year really didn't do any of that kind of stuff. But man, it feels like we're about to enter not only, obviously keeping what we've done last year, but a different version of this offense with the ability to score quickly. This is going to be a game changer, man. If they could figure this out and get it down, but if they're hitting right now in underwear football, obviously, including Kyle Trask, no, like for real. But it feels like they're going to start to take advantage of these fast wide receivers and just kind of attack down the field. And the way they're built on the offensive line, Stank, this might be a great recipe for success because they're able to actually hold up front and create these mismatches down the field, man.
I don't expect them to reinvent the wheel, but you have to evolve and you have to add to it, right? And if anything was lacking since essentially Leftwich and Arians left the building is our, ability to attack teams deep or willingness to attack teams deep. I mean, Dave was a bit conservative. Liam was, more aggressive, but we still didn't see a lot of deep passes, and we saw a lot of under the defense type of football, which is what's in vogue right now in the NFL. And I don't expect, because I don't think we have that deep ball guy necessarily, unless Trey Palmer wakes the fuck up and becomes that guy.
We got Tez. Got Tez, dude. We got Tez Johnson. We got a big Johnson in the building finally again.
We do, but Tez isn't a burner. So I don't know. Do we have that guy who could take the top off? We have Naughty Miller. We don't have necessarily a Scotty Miller guy, and is the back half of this roster on from the wide receiver position, which I know we're going to get to eventually. Do we have a guy in there that can play that role on this offense? That's what we really need to find out.
But I don't think it needs to be a Joey Galloway, down the sidelines type scenario, Stank. I think it's more or less creating a mismatch where you create confusion and now there's a breakout, between, out of the bunch. It could be a really deep post pattern. Mike Evans has all his entire career gotten down the field, and he's not necessarily a burner. He's got the long stride. He's a fast, wide receiver, but he's not necessarily Jacquez Green. You're not thinking Jacquez Green, Tyreek Hill. You're not thinking Joey Galloway when you think of Mike Evans. And so I think it's more or less the concepts that are going to be designed to get guys open further on down the field as opposed to horizontal. Now we're running things that are more vertical, attacking deeper down the seams. And I think that's going to make the stuff underneath even more hard to, even more difficult to guard. But man, to see a guy like Tez Johnson, Emeka Egbuka, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, like these guys being able to kind of run in space more vertically, it's going to be fun, man, especially if Baker is hitting these guys and he's able to kind of dial up that deep ball. It's going to be special to watch because imagine being able to score quickly as opposed to having to kind of tooth and nail things together, especially when you have guys, say you have guys go down, that offense kind of still stays intact because it's all about the scheme at that point. And the younger guys, I feel like can take advantage of that. We haven't said Jalen McMillan's name yet. I mean, he's in that mix too. So those guys, I think, have the ability to do this stuff, not Joey Galloway style one-on-one, but I don't think you need to be one-on-one anymore in the NFL. You just got to run your scheme, be really creative with it, create a mismatch, and boom, you got a guy.
No, we've got guys that can win contested catches. Every one of them. Mm-hmm. All the guys you just named can do that. But can they, beat guys by, 3-4 yards? I don't know that we have that guy. But like you said, we don't necessarily need it. Mike Evans is always open. And through scheming, we saw that with Liam last year. He was scheming guys open for the first time in, I can't even remember. We saw guys running wide open, had some gimmies. And so, Grizzard taking that playbook, that system, and putting his own funk on it, especially if it involves sprinkling in the deep ball. I mean, we're impossible to prepare for. This team, similarly to the Brady Super Bowl team, has weapons at every position. Cade Otton, the forgotten guy, who stepped up and carried this team while we had, tons of injuries at the wide receiver position. That guy's looking, to prove himself to be that guy, to be a top 10 tight end. So good luck preparing for this team. I mean, you better get to Baker. That's the only way you're stopping this offense is you better get to Baker. Oh, I'm sorry. The offensive line is one of the best in the NFL and probably the best in Buccaneers history. Oh, I'm sorry. It's going to be hard to get to Baker, who can hurt you, by the way, if you try to get to him too. So, this team's maturing. This group is maturing. And the sky's the limit. Now, if we can put any kind of defense behind them, we're a top 5 team in the NFL. We're where we need to be. We're going to win 13 football games. They can stop teams from answering every single time. You'll see those sack numbers go through the fucking roof. How do you think Cam Jordan has 100+ sacks? It's not because he's great. He's not. He's actually
always playing with a lead.
When during the Breeze era, he was just pinning his ears back because every team was playing catch up. That offense was absolutely steamrolling motherfuckers, and he could just go back there and eat all day. And he's probably an above average talent, but he's no Hall of Famer. He's gonna probably make it into a Hall of Fame. Even with that I mean, can he just go the fuck away?
Go away, dude. Retire.
Can we all agree he's
It's
reaching
time.
like, no offense, he's reaching like Gerald McCoy, like trying to be entertainer. Look at me.
No, Stank. He's the high school star who keeps coming back on Friday nights to participate in the game. Like he's on the sidelines. He's trying to hang out in the locker room. He's just like, dude, just go away. You didn't make it in junior college. Like, just let it go. You're no longer part of the team anymore. Like, sit in the stands and just watch like a normal person. Stop showing up, Friday night pep rallies. Enough is enough. But yeah, man, go like Stank. If this team can score quickly and create these, 17-0 holes for these teams that we're facing, you can bring in a guy like Elijah Roberts and David Walker and Chris Braswell and just be like, go rush the passer. You don't even have to think at that point. Just go do what you've been doing since Pee Wee football. Just go get after the quarterback. And the stuff that's going to open up in terms of, you don't have to really be creative. It's clear what they got to do to get back in this game. Go get them. And that's going to make those guys play faster, play with a little bit less thinking, that whole process that goes through these younger guys' minds. And now you're getting after the quarterback. You're creating sacks like you're talking about 100%. The more you score on offense, the better it is for your defense to get sacks. It might not look good on yardage because they're always trying to chuck the ball down the field, try to catch up. So it doesn't necessarily look good overall, but you're getting sack numbers. Like if you recall that defense for the Saints during the Breeze era, they weren't really a great defense.
No, they weren't.
They just could always get to the quarterback because you were always doing one thing. You weren't running the ball against them because you had to throw the ball. And it made them look a lot better than they were. So I would love to see that shit. As good as we were last year, we really didn't put teams in a lot of holes. We just kind of sludged along and just kind of dominated time of possession, ran the ball well. Even in that game against the Saints, we had that lead and it all kind of disintegrated when we had those weird 3-4 series in a row where all of a sudden they're back in the game. But then obviously we dropped 51 points, so it was all good to the end. But yeah, that could be a game that could turn a totally different route if we have now. I think a revitalized pass rush to go with that. But quick scoring is gonna be fucking fun to watch, man. Haven't seen that since Joey Galloway, Stank. Honestly, no offense to BA. But those guys are just kind of winning one-on-one. But damn, see some Joey Galloway type shit again would be fucking amazing. Especially with Gruden now back in the fold. His name's up on the fucking wall at the stadium. Throw it Joey Galloway. Joey Galloway's been the theme of our offseason here on the show, Stink.
He really has, in a weird way. And that's not coincidence, I don't think.
No,
all right.
By design.
I'm an energy guy, right? And I don't believe in coincidences. That there's a reason that he's not. I think he's still alive, right? He looks weird, like he's wearing old man makeup when you see him on TV. He's like, that's not Joey Galloway. Doesn't have gray hair, but whatever his ghost, the ghost that he left here in Tampa is around, and that means something. I think that ultimately means something. Yeah. Listen, B Shook said all this positive stuff's giving me a bit of a chub. Training camp can't come soon enough. It's okay.
Camp chub.
You need to start getting the pipes working again, if you know what I mean. Okay?
Camp chubby never hurt nobody.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. I know we live in a society now where it's frowned upon. It's frowned upon to just be out in public and be like, what do I do with this thing? It's frowned upon. You could even get in trouble for that, right? But this is a safe place right here. Okay,
Thanks.
You are more than willing.
Someone should design a fanny pack that comes with a pillow. You just right over the front there, right? and you're just kind of always ready.
Yeah,
when you get ready.
I like that. I could have used that in high school. You know, I could absolutely use that.
Maybe you could use like a little beanbag or something, but yeah, same thing, I guess.
Yeah, well, you know, the waistband tuck, we had to do what we had to do back in those days. We didn't have all this newfangled technology.
No, I mean, it was duct tape around the thigh, dude. Either
mean,
that or wrap that thing around twice and use it as a belt.
Yeah, whatever got you through the day, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. What's the next topic? Talking about rookies, all right. We're talking about defense again. We heard Jacob Parrish's name a lot. Benjamin Morrison played in practice during OTAs this first 2 days here of minicamp. He has not been on the field. It's just been more of a precautionary thing, kind of bring him along slowly because he is coming back from the surgery he had that ended his college season last year. But Jacob Parrish making some noise, Stank. Playing outside, playing in that nickel spot, making plays from either inside or outside. And you know what? Benjamin Morrison not playing means he's getting to play more. And obviously they're trying to keep the older guys a little bit more fresh. So he's getting a lot of playing time. Tyke Smith is playing nickel and also safety. So Jacob Parrish is in a very good spot to really go out there and get maximum reps for a rookie in his position, who's kind of like the fourth or fifth cornerback on this team currently. But Stank, is there a reality that this guy could leapfrog into the starting lineup somehow? And I don't mean maybe on the outside, but if he's a nickel corner, that's a starting corner in the NFL. But I really do think he has an opportunity to possibly start opposite of Zion McCollum. That's how good he's been so far. He's had his hiccups, obviously, but that's how highly they speak of him. Todd Bowles talking about his IQ, his ability to make plays, and his learning the defense pretty quickly. This is again another check on Jason's list of studs that he just finds, where you to speak this highly of a rookie, a few days into camp is pretty fucking cool.
Can we all agree Parrish is Todd Bowles' crush? Because he can't 100%. He can't say enough about the guy. Yep. And he goes out of his way every time to be like, he's an outside corner. Who are playing inside right now, but he's an outside corner. Todd loves this kid, and the kid's already showing out. It's a good sign. It is a good sign. Yes, we're not in pads, but you don't need to necessarily be in pads to flash, as a secondary player. It helps. It could be a different guy, when he's in pads, but unlikely. I think his IQ, his ball skills, and clearly he's getting hands on balls already. He's picking off Baker. He's picking off Kyle. He's picking off
whoever's back there throwing the ball. I don't even know who the other guy is. Yeah,
whoever the other guy is. He's picking everything off that comes his way. And that's all you can ask. A guy who doesn't know this offense, by the way. Sometimes you'll see the vets get their hands on balls a lot. They're seeing it. They know what's coming, especially as camp drones on. These guys are tired of playing against each other. This is not a familiarity thing with this kid. He just has ball skills. So, I think there's a very good chance that he ends up being our starting nickel and potentially playing some outside corner at times as well. But
I mean, the Stank, like you said, even if you're underwear football corner, a lot of that is anticipation, preparation, kind of seeing and knowing what you're looking at, and just being a high IQ guy, doing your homework before the game, doing your homework in between practices, and kind of just studying what you're supposed to be studying as a rookie. For that to be something that's flashing, that speaks volumes, man. And that reminds me a lot. I know we compared Tyke last year to a Rondé Barber type of player. It reminds me a lot of Rondé Barber. Not necessarily the fastest guy on the field, but he was just so smart and savvy that he was always in the right place at the right time. And that was preparation. That wasn't luck, right? And so he's doing this now. And I love his physical nature. So I feel like when the pads come on, he's probably going to be even better because he's such a physical guy. If you go back and look at his tape, but his physicality is just going to make these younger wide receivers even better. To watch him and Emeka, locked up in practice, it's going to make these two guys better. And he's not a guy that wants to lose a rep ever. But, man, I really do see a scenario if Jamel Dean slips or Jamel Dean gets hurt, which does happen every single year, to where this guy could be that dude, which is crazy because we drafted Benjamin Morrison to be that dude, right? It's like we're in a position to where, man, if we can't pay Zion McCollum, I guess it wouldn't be the end of the world. Jamel Dean on his way out, who maybe it's not it's just it's so awesome to see us be in a spot like that. And again, I think the cool thing about and this is not a knock on Morrison, Parrish allows the Bucs to be more multiple, in my opinion. I think he can play inside, outside, more fluid. He's also not coming off of an injury or a surgery or anything like that. And now him and Tyke Smith, Zion, Jamel Dean, all in the field with Antoine. That's just crazy because now Antoine, by the way, has played in the nickel spot before as well. So you could interchange those guys with this, very amoeba-like defense on the back end, man. That'd be fucking fun to watch, especially if you don't have to blitz, Stank. But man, Jacob Parrish I'm with Todd. That's my crush of this offseason so far is Jacob Parrish because I just see so much Rondé in him. And dude, I love players who play like they want to fucking kill you, man. That chip on his shoulder, dog ass mentality. That shit gives me Camp Chubbies all day, man.
Yeah, it's IQ over foot speed all day. Rondé
So,
and you're a foot guy.
I'm a foot guy, right? Exactly. Rondé's a Hall of Famer, but he didn't have that, elite fucking speed. He just knew shit, instinctively, and was a dog and studied and ended up being one of those Hall of Fame type talents that worked his way to that level. Izzy, did you have something you needed to say?
yeah, so a couple of comments popped up that actually coincide with what you had to say. And also, Loose Cannon's Vixen popping in with a $5 super chat.
Wow.
$2.50 for both of y'all to split.
Sank, our interns pay us. I mean, what are we talking about? I mean, come on, guys. I mean, that just tells you how awesome we are as balls.
It's a new age.
Yeah.
Right? It is a new age. It is a new age.
You want to be on the show? Fucking pay us. Go ahead.
So $2.50 for the both of y'all to split. Some want to know about the hats you both have on. And real quick, Dr. Pless is actually in the chat. He actually said something that you jumped on. Parrish allows the secondary to present options every week based on the matchups. And Tony Tega actually jumped in as well, saying Scott Reynolds said it best. Morrison and Parrish are either going to push Dean to greatness or the bench. Yeah,
I mean, speaking of Dean, we haven't gotten him because he's part of another subject that's coming up here. But I will say, Dean's played well so far in camp. He had a pick 6 today, so he's definitely feeling. Yeah, he's definitely feeling the fire on his ass, Stank. Whether it would have been a pick 6 if they're really tackling him or not, but Stank, just him catching a ball is headline news. Okay, this dude doesn't catch a lot of ball, doesn't get his hands on a lot of ball.
The replay would have showed that he dropped it.
No.
Apparently, the thing is they have that replay screen over there.
Clean catch, thing. Clean catch. Jamel Dean feeling the heat. Jamel Dean knows. Here's the thing. Whether he's playing for this job or not, he's got to put out good tape because he wants to get paid again. So, I mean, it just feels like, again, a good situation to have guys pushing guys to be better than the other guys. And I think Jamel Dean knows. Jamel Dean knows if he misses a game or any extended period of time, he's going to lose his job. He is. And whether it's Benjamin Morrison taking it or Jacob Parrish, he's going to lose his job. And Parrish feels to me like a guy, like if you give him a chance at that bone, you're not getting it back, dude. That dog is not letting go of that bone if you let go of it. And it's his forever. And he's going to fuck you up if you get near him again. And that I think Jamel Dean sensed that. He senses that. And again, it kind of speaks back to that real cool balance of veteran leadership, younger dogs all mixed in together. Go ahead, Stink.
Easier said than done. Dean knows like his payday, his career potentially is on the line right now. So maybe he plays out of his fucking mind. I mean, PFF thinks he's one of the greatest cornerbacks to ever play every year, rated in the top 15. So I just don't know what I'm seeing. Clearly, I'm an idiot. But Tony Taggart says Izzy looks like an Olympic fencer. Go ahead and go full screen on Izzy real quick. Let's check this out. I can see it.
Yeah, I see it.
You know what? Can I hit him with a line real quick?
Yeah.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Earlier, you had your glasses off before we started the show, and you kind of looked like a thin Puerto Rican Shane Gillis. A little bit.
Puerto Rican Shane Gillis. What's the Spanish name for Shane? Shano.
No, it's just Shane. It's just Shane.
I don't think so, man.
I don't think so.
Shano Galisso.
Shano
Galisso. Yeah, I like that. Stank. Talking about young dogs, okay?
Man.
Talking about young dogs, and we talked about him for a little bit here. We finally got a Johnson back in the building, okay? All is right at One Buc when we got a big old Johnson in the fucking room, in the building, okay? This wide receiver room, Stank, pretty fucking stacked. I mean, absolutely stacked. And we kind of said it a little bit last year heading into camp, but these dudes are actually dogs on this team right now. Guys we talked about last year, probably not going to be on this team, obviously. McMillan, Egbuka, Tez Johnson, they're currently balling in camp because they're getting opportunities. Mike Evans is out there just kind of, stretching with the team, doing some warm-ups, not really participating, though, for good reason. Fuck it. Don't need that guy out there running at all. Chris Godwin's still coming back from the injury. So you're getting the guys like McMillan, Egbuka, Tez Johnson, a lot of playing time, a lot of reps with Baker. And right now, Baker to McMillan looks fucking phenomenal. Baker to Egbuka, by the way, seems to be he's finding himself a security blanket in the rookie, okay? The rookie wide receiver out of Ohio State. And then you got Tez Johnson out there just doing fucking starting wide receiver type shit as kind of this forgettable 7th round pick. But obviously not forgettable. But Stank, these 3 dudes are going to take someone's job. So obviously this is a little bit early. But who's going to be the odd man out? Obviously not these 3. I don't see any scenario where any one of these guys are going to be cut. But Trey Palmer, Cam Johnson, you got the fakey wannabe Miller, Jarrett. We got a plethora of these guys. Sterling Shepard. Yeah. Right? We got a plethora of these just guys that are hanging out on this roster right now. And then you got these 3 dudes that are getting amazing playing time, awesome, reps with not only Baker, by the way, also with Kyle Trask. And they're showing out right now, and they're playing against starting corners, and they're making plays. And
we also have the preseason wonder Rakim Jarrett as well, who every year in training camp he looks amazing, and every year in preseason games he looks incredible.
He looks good when he plays in actual games as well.
He actually does. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. They're not keeping all these guys. Somebody's gonna end up in Jacksonville here before the season starts. I know. Yeah, but you already know that snake's gonna come in and steal some of our eggs. So that'll happen. That'll happen for sure. But no, it's a good problem to have, though, because iron sharpens iron. Which Johnson is big enough to make this roster? That's really the question right now, right? They're both, if you look at them, right, they're growers. They're growers because if they don't, nothing impressive when you look at them, right? One's maybe a little thicker than the other.
Yeah, a little thicker.
Yeah, exactly.
Cam's definitely got more girth to him, for sure.
He's got more girth, but
Tez got more wiggle, right? A little more hip action, right? So it all depends on what you value as a receiver. Mm-hmm. You want that hip wiggle?
Tez is like Bucky in the backfield,
or you want that girth, right? And so when you're talking about Johnsons, I mean, wouldn't it be nice to just kind of see him go out there old school, just old fashioned sword fight, and just kind of let the best Johnson win? I think going that route might be best, but there's also something to say about having a Johnson that could just kind of shove its way down, and come down with the cash. And so Cam has a chance, but is he gonna be the guy chosen over a Tez? I don't know. But got Trey Palmer still fighting, obviously. But Johnson on Johnson is gonna be interesting, Stank.
Yeah, you don't necessarily want to cross swords out there, but we are here at training camp. But we're gonna figure it out. Of course, they're gonna let their production speak. Tez probably has an advantage because he's likely gonna lock up the kick return role or the punt return role, I should say. So Cam's got to prove himself in other ways. And, could we be rolling with 2 Johnsons? We've never had that happen here before. So I don't know. What do you do with 2 Johnsons?
What do you do with 2 Johnsons? I mean, I feel like you can have a lot of fun with 2 Johnsons, right? I've heard about it. Never seen it really.
I hope they have enough baby oil for that.
I mean, baby oil podcast, so I'm assuming they would. But yeah, so that's the thing, Stank. And Todd said it too, and Tez Johnson's kind of echoed the sentiment too. I'm not just a punt returner. I'm a fucking wide receiver. And he runs really fucking crisp routes. He makes plays. Guy knows how to get open. Not necessarily the fastest guy every single time, but he's got that wiggle to him like we talked about. And I don't see a scenario where he doesn't make this team. But Cam Johnson last year, I believe he made the team because of his special teams capabilities as well. So now you got a guy who's going to be vying for that spot and a wide receiver spot. Mm-hmm. But it was interesting to hear Todd talk about how if he continues on his trajectory, Tez Johnson's going to be a major part of the offense. 7th round pick, probably wide receiver 4 at this point, and he's going to be a major part of the offense. And that just tells me that they're going to have plays designed for that guy to take the ball out of the backfield, maybe come out of the backfield, be in the bunch formations where he's that guy that kind of ends up leaking out and getting lost in the mix, lost in the shuffle. Having a guy like that's always going to catch the ball, going to fight for yardage, and he got that wiggle to him, Stank. Now you're shoving Johnsons down the field. I mean, this is a Johnson dream come true, in my opinion.
It It really is.
Bry actually popped up earlier. My bad for interrupting, but Bry popped up and he said something similar. He's like, we don't have a wide receiver 1 through 4. We have a wide receiver 1 and 1A with a 2 and 2A.
I don't know what any of that means.
And
We're not doing the alphabet tonight, Izzy. But Stank, I don't know what you were gonna say either.
basically, we don't have a 1 through 4. We have a 1 with an option off to the side.
Izzy's speaking in fractions, bro, and I can tell you right now, nothing scares me more than fractions. I don't know what it is.
The numbers are a thing.
I'm good with numbers, bro. It's in my blood. Fractions? No.
What's funny is
Once
Izzy
they have the
also
slash, that's it.
Izzy only also sees in fractions. That's the thing. So like he's using top half bottom. He's not seeing the full. He doesn't even see the whole fraction. He's seen denominator or numerator. I don't know which one is which, but that's the one we're looking at. He doesn't really
That's
see
hilarious.
in full.
Right? Okay.
I was gonna say.
Ooh.
Is there a super chat you need to speak, Izzy? What's going on?
No,
My
but
bad, go ahead.
Brian Molin, no, that guy, he with the comment of the day, he said, "Fuck, I was going into loose cannons withdrawal." Yeah, man, I get it. I was as well. We're over there itching, fucking Vixen's inboxing me every day, like, what's going on? What's gonna happen here? I don't know. Like it's gotten a little uncomfortable. But listen, we gotta pay the bills behind the scenes. Okay, we were working on some big things, and sometimes think things take time. Big things.
Oh, Bryce says 2 wide receiver 1 receiver. Okay, I get it.
Another thing we got to talk about. We kind of touched on this a little bit, Stank, but all off season we heard from Todd about getting hands on balls, the emphasis on the turnovers on the defensive side of things, and so far in camp, the talk of camp has been the defense's ability to intercept not only Baker, but Kyle Trask at times. But Baker's not had a very good couple of days here. And I don't know if that's rust. I don't know if that's the defense kind of being over aggressive or if that's just him taking chances. I'm kind of going to be in the middle of that. I'm not too worried about it. I don't think it's anything that's going to be a problem. But Stank, it feels like this defense is coming in with a little bit different approach this year. And do you think they're going to finally deliver? Like we've heard this for a few years now. Is this the year Todd's unit comes out there and really, delivers and forces mistakes by the opponent's offense and starts to kind of give this team a little bit easier route to some of these W's? Shorter fields would be nice for Baker and the boys.
It sure the hell feels that way. It does, and really, that's all anybody's talking about right now. Nobody's really talking about the offense whatsoever.
No,
and that's a big change. And we needed that focus. We needed the energy focus. We needed to really put our resources and our energy back into the defense here because it doesn't feel right when we struggle on defense. We're a defensive franchise. It's just odd to see us get ran through like a bitch on the corner, bro. I don't like it. I'd rather not score points. I'm a Dungy era kind of kid where I'm good with a 9-6 win. For some reason I miss it.
You're comfortable. That's your space, right?
Yeah, just being in a ball of anxiety the whole time, like, oh my God, not a field goal could beat us. I miss those times. We couldn't score any points at all, but didn't matter because we had the best defense on the planet. And so yeah, I don't know, man. I really hope that this feeling rolls into camp, pads come on, and our front. It starts up front. I don't know if you guys know that, but it does. And you can quote me on that, right? Right. It starts in the trenches. And so we've got some trench. We've got some weapons now.
You just come up with that? That's pretty catchy.
I did.
That's pretty catchy, man. I don't think I've ever heard you say that before.
I do this, Sammer. Okay. Yeah, this isn't an off season for me. Right. I drop gems like that. And that's why I get $2.50 super chats.
From people who work for us.
People are just throwing money at me because of that type of content.
Showering you with gifts and lotions.
Somebody said there's only 9 likes on this episode right now. So
is there really?
Fuck supply and demand. Man. Did you like it? Supply and demand? George?
Dude, there's only 6 likes here.
Clown?
Only
have you
6.
liked the show yet? Jonas? Brian?
Staying. I was going to say, it's pretty crazy that we had a top 5 offense last year. Mm-hmm. Sometimes top 2 in some categories. And we're not talking about the offense whatsoever going into these.
An afterthought.
It's like not like it feels like it's weird that we're so comfortable with that side of the ball for the first time probably ever as Bucs fans. Again, when BA and Tom Brady were here, obviously you're comfortable with it, but it was more like Tom's just going to make it work. BA's got these guys running routes down the field. It's just going to work. This feels like who the fuck's going to stop us? Like, you could accidentally score 30 points with this offense. We're not even thinking about them. And yeah, it does feel different, man. It does feel different. It feels like, I think the infusion of the young talent is what really has me excited about the turnover side of things. Guys like Benjamin Morris gets hands on balls. Jamel Dean feeling the fire. Might start to get his hands on some balls. Tyke Smith, he's proven already as a rookie. He got his hands on balls. I think if he plays the entire season, he's probably in that conversation for defensive rookie of the year. And then obviously you got a guy like Jacob Parrish who proves that he can't live without getting his hands on. If he can't touch a ball during a Sunday, he's not going to be a very happy camper. He can't breathe. He's got to have hands on balls to breathe. That's a different mindset. That's a different energy on this defense, man. And then we're not talking about Haason Reddick, who loves to get his hands on balls and on quarterbacks. You got Yaya Diaby, who's going to soak that up. And you got these front four guys. You got a second unit of pass rushers going to make Greg Gaines look like a piece of shit, even though he is a piece of shit, right? Now you got these guys back there playing with the fucking fun, fun. Go get hands on balls and have fun, boys. Like, that's so different, man. It reminds me of Gruden's first year when he looked at the guys on defense and said, yeah, you guys are great defense. Yeah, you guys are great defense. Big fucking deal. Are you guys a Super Bowl fucking champion defense? You know what Super Bowl champion defenses do? They get hands on balls and they score. They score. We can see some defensive touchdowns finally, Stank. It's been a while, man. We got one last year, I think, with Antoine in New Orleans, but that was New Orleans, right? Who doesn't fucking wipe their feet on the fucking mat, right? We need to do this week in and week out.
We do. And you know what? Bantry makes an incredible point. You threw shade at Baker earlier, but I gotta believe he is the leader of this team. He's the leader of this franchise. And he's out there tossing picks to help boost the secondary's confidence, according to Bantry. And that might actually
Makes sense.
That might actually be some truth to that. What better way to get these young guys excited about football, right? Than giving them a little bit of fucking, just give them a little bit of boost of confidence. Great point, fucking Bantry. What a fucking
what a leader. What a leader, dude. I mean, he's playing 3D chess at this point as a leader on this team, right? He's like, you know what? I could carve these motherfuckers up anytime. Let me throw them a couple of lollipops. Let them feel good about them. It's like when you play ball with your kid, right? Let him get a layup here and there. When the game gets tight and it's 19, 17, you block the fuck out of him and you win the game at the end, right? But you got to make him feel good. You got to be able to string him along a little bit so he kind of builds that confidence. And Baker's a dad now. So maybe Baker understands how to be a father figure in this locker room too, Stank. Yeah. And you know what? I wouldn't doubt it if some of these younger guys are like, yeah, we look at Baker as Papa. He's Papa Baker now.
Yeah, sometimes you got to pick him up, put him on your shoulder, give him a little pat on the back, right? Hold him up, look him in the eyes, right? A little quick slap while mom's not looking. You go, fuck you. And then, you go back to just loving. Sometimes you got to do that to build up a strong baby. And I kind of look at rookies like babies. They get out there, they don't know where to go, right? They don't really even know how to get in and out of the facility.
Helmets are too heavy at first, right? They don't got no neck strength whatsoever.
They look awkward in their uniforms. It looks just foreign. And then you got Baker out there doing what a good father does. And that's just giving them what they need. So, man, that's the kind of leadership that you need. And Baker knows nobody's talking about the offense right now. He doesn't want anybody to talk about the offense. It's good to put the pressure on the defense because now you're building expectations, and there's been none. Nobody cared. Nobody thought the defense was going to be great over the last handful of seasons. Nobody. But right now, it kind of feels like we've got the dogs up front. We got the guys in the young guys in the secondary who are hungry, and then you got a guy like Savassier who's getting a lot of praise. And then we don't even talk about our best players like Levante. We don't even have to. We don't have to talk about that guy. We already know what he's going to be. So
I don't know. To kind of piggyback on this topic though, but before I forget, Stank, on the Baker Mayfield thing, here's the thing: everyone's been praising Baker the last month or so. It's just been a love fest towards Baker Mayfield, and Baker's not comfortable in that. He's like you. He wants the hate. He needs the bulletin board material. And so I think he's like, I don't want this. This is wet firewood. I need some fucking dry hate on my fucking fire for this coming season. I'm going to throw some interceptions. I want these guys to start talking some shit about me. I need something to fucking stack this fire a little bit higher this coming off because too much love. I don't like it when my team gets too much love. I'm like you, Stank. But my quarterback on top of that getting all this love in the offseason, no, Baker's like, I'm going to throw some picks. I'm going to give these guys some shit to talk about me because I need it. I need that shit. But going back to this topic about turnovers, we haven't talked about this guy who's been an absolute dog in OTAs, by the way, and now again in minicamp. Servassier Dennis, the forgotten man in the middle of that field. When he left, that defense took a massive plummet, in my opinion. I mean, we looked really good those first 3 weeks, man. We'd go in, against Philadelphia, against the Commanders, and obviously going into Detroit and dominating that game on defense without a Vita Vea, okay? But Servassier Dennis has been getting picks left and right, making plays, anticipation. Dude looks like he's healthy, obviously, for the first time since he's been drafted into the NFL. But man, Stank, if we get anything from this guy that even screams starting middle linebacker, holy shit. Holy shit, this defense is different. And he's apparently, like these guys are talking about him, this guy can't not get his hands on balls. And it's just constant with him, dude, which is unbelievable coming from the linebacker core when it's not a guy named Levante David.
It's much needed because the dog shit that we had to field last year, and the
KJ Britt.
Yeah, the KJ Britts of the world, they're just not NFL quality starters. And, we're all concerned. I know that was my main concern coming out of the draft, that we didn't end up taking, a replacement, knowing that we had Servassier in the chamber. But it's good to hear. He seems like extremely calm. I don't know that he feels the pressure, which is good too. And he's got some time in the system. He knows this team. He knows the guys around him. He's been groomed already by Levante. And so we'll have to see once pads are on, right?
It just feels like a stud in the making, Stank. He's been here. He hasn't been able to really get his feet underneath him. He hasn't been able to stay healthy. He's just right there. And then when that Detroit game, he played so well. He played really well the first 3 games, honestly. And they found a really good mix between him and KJ Britt on passing downs and running downs. And this year, it's like, this is your job, man. It's yours to lose or to make it yours. Right. And now it feels like he's grown into that. Feels healthy, looks healthy. Dude, like if there's anybody on this team I'm just rooting for constantly, it's that, because that right there is going to unlock so much on that side of the ball for the Bucs, not only from a, game planning and play calling standpoint from Todd's perspective, but like the ability to make plays, the ability for that defense to stand up, man. If we get anything from him and if he, makes splash plays, that's even fucking better, dude. It's going to be fucking awesome to see.
Yeah, this is a good sign this early on to hear that. Clearly, nobody's got pads on. They don't have to defend the run. They can actually focus on the passing game. Things change when you've got to defend every blade of grass and you have to go chase Bucky down all practice long and try to tackle that kid. And Rashad, who did you hear Rashad's interview? His OTA's interview or minicamp interview?
Yeah.
Dude, I've never seen him so confident and chill. Like I don't see the anxiety in him right now. I think he knows, he knows that he's going, whatever self-doubt, if there was any, he knows he's going to have his opportunity to show out in this defense.
I think it's more understanding that you just got to sometimes ignore the outside noise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not think about whatever anyone else is saying. Not think about stuff that's not in your control. I'm going to touch the ball this many times. I'm going to get opportunity this many ways. I'm just going to have to maximize that. And he knows, confidence level, obviously, I don't think he has any confidence issues. He knows his skills. He knows he's talented. Right. He's slimmed down to come in and maybe be able to create a little bit more fast and speed. Yeah.
10 pounds? That's a lot.
That's a lot for a guy who now, that's a lot when you think about speed and kind of shiftability and being able to make guys, miss a little bit more. But it's a contract year for Rashad, right? Big friend of the pod, obviously, friend of mine. And so I think he's coming in with a little bit different focus, but also he's one of those guys that's just I'm going to let these chips fall where they fall and fall where they may. And you know what? I know what I can do, whether it's here or somewhere else or how it all plays out. We're going to see. But I do think that him and Bucky are going to be a formidable duo yet again. I think he's going to be even better because of the fact that he's lost that weight stink. He's not going to be as bulked up. And I think, that just depends on what they ask him to do. But Grizzard is going to utilize him a lot differently than Liam did. And his ability to do multiple things, fit into this offense in a much different way, especially when they're going down the field. Him and Bucky are going to be even better than what we saw last year. And I think they're going to focus on utilizing them a little bit more like Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs kind of get used in Detroit. Remember, Grizzard was down in Miami when Miami could put any fucking running back out there and just play him. And then play like 4-5 guys in a game. They're each getting 95, 70, 95 to 120 yards apiece. Like he understands how to balance those guys a little bit more than what I think Liam. And Liam, I don't think, has been in a scenario like that. So he struggled at times figuring out who to play, when to play. Even a guy like Tucker, like not seeing the field at all, kind of didn't make much sense other than, obviously the pass pro, things like that. But yeah, it's gonna be fun to see that shit, man. It's gonna be, and yeah, he looks chill, he looks comfortable. He just looks like, you know what, man, let's just go out there and play some ball. Let's go have some fun.
Yeah, and it's easy. It's easy as fans to have that fantasy football mentality to think, oh, it's a one back system. It isn't. It's a 17-game season. It's a long, grueling season. Bucky's not the biggest guy. You don't want him taking, 25 carry type of damage all season long. You need the ability to have a 1-2 punch. And the fact that Rashad can do it all, he can run inside, he can run outside. He's the best pass blocking running back we have. Well, probably one of the best in the league. And then as far as receiving threats, get the fuck out of here, bro. That guy is essentially another weapon that can hurt you in so many different ways. Does he have the shiftiness Bucky has? No, they're two different animals, man. And that's good. The good problem to have that we have both those guys. It's up to Grizzard to figure out how to utilize them best, so that you're not giving away what we're doing just because Rashad's on the field or just because Bucky's on the field. And so I think, some of the stagnation that we felt towards the end of the season, I think they're going to figure that out, on top of the fact that we are just absolutely loaded. And, defending the run against this team, and I get it, all coaches, it's all starts with defending the run and rush the passer to the running back. You can say all that, but when you have to cover Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and Mech, and Jalen McMillan, and then the plethora of other weapons that we have that we can throw at you. And don't forget about Cade Otton and Payne Durham and potentially Cole Keefe. Like, we can do things that most teams can't and keep on swinging. There's no rest for the defense when you can throw guys at you in waves. You can do a whole lot more with packages when you have starting quality guys that can play in different packages and keep guys fresh. Mike's not 25 years old anymore. Chris is coming off some pretty severe injuries. It's a great problem to have that we can kind of slowly bring those guys along, pitch count, call what you want, and feed some of these young guys. So I don't know about Grizz. None of us does. Baker speaks highly of him. Everybody's saying all the right things. None of us does, man. Okay. All right. Just like, he's an Ivy League guy, and my vocabulary, speaks to my level of education. I was educated right here in this state, in this city, as a matter of fact.
I was gonna touch on that Ivy League shit. So we're gonna see. I'm trying to say this where it doesn't necessarily knock what Liam did. Liam leaned on talent and he did good things. Whereas I think Grizzard is more, he looks at this as more of like a Tetris type of scenario. His brain functions kind of like McVay's does, a little bit like McDaniel, a little bit like the cat out in San Francisco, dude up in Minnesota, where it's almost like a math equation constantly. Ben Johnson, similar way, to where it's going to be more of a surgical design to everything, to where you're just kind of being put in a position to pick your poison almost every single play. And I think it's going to be different for the offense, and it's going to feel easier, which is crazy. And it's not going to necessarily depend so much on talent and guys just winning as opposed to just guys being open, because he brings a different version of play calling that I don't think we've seen here since maybe a Gruden stink. It's just a very kind of just calculated math equation. The way he thinks like a math guy. I'm just, based on where he's come from, based on the Ivy League stuff, I just get the sense it's going to be a Ben Johnson type of mentality from him in terms of the calculation of how things work. And it just, hey, math equation is a math equation of these fucking nerds, right? And if he's playing nerd football out there, I'll take it all day, man, because that shit works.
It is about intestinal fortitude, too. The thing that we loved about Liam is he was that fuck you guy, bro. He hated the other team. That he wanted to put 52 up against New Orleans. That guy coached angry and had that fuck you mentality. We don't know what this guy's mentality is yet.
Grizzard's also kind of ugly, Sting. Key part of all this.
Not nearly as ugly. He is a looker compared to Liam, bro. Liam is
but I think he's got the right amount of ugly, right? To where I feel like he's got enough ugly to make this offense look pretty.
I don't know. I think he's just an average Joe. That's the problem. He's not ugly. He's not pretty. Somewhere in the middle. He's kind of forgettable. I always forget what he looks like until somebody posts a picture of him. I'm like, oh, yeah,
Forgettable's good, though, right? We've been on the other side of it. Pretty is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, we had just an absolute dime piece, right? That was distracting. I mean, I forget sometimes. I'm like, oh, that's right. I should be watching the game instead of looking at our offensive coordinator.
You remember when we met him, we shook his hand?
You know what? You know, in movies, like when you get an out-of-body experience and like fucking energy surrounds you and butterflies fly. When I shook Dime Piece Dave's hands, it was like time stopped for a second. It was hard for me to break my attention away. And I was surrounded by Mike Evans was right next to me, Levante David, and I couldn't take my eyes off the guy. We know why that didn't work out here, right?
It's just like that moment in Nacho Libre when they're at the that little that little party that they were at, and then the fat girl sees Escalito, and everything just kind of mutes out in the background here.
That part.
And she just lip syncs "I love you" to him, and that's what it felt like. I saw it happening between you and Dime Piece Dave, and it was just like, it was kind of beautiful, to be honest. I mean, you're an ugly human being, but that moment was beautiful.
The exact opposite happened when I met Liam, right? I just
we got sick to our stomachs.
I didn't know where to focus. Yeah. I felt like his skin was like living, like it just was weird.
We couldn't tell who he was looking at. First of all, he was shaking your hand, but I thought he was looking at me. It was similar to what happens when we get Izzy on camera. It's just very uncomfortable.
He was
around
sweating.
him.
He was sweating. There was an odor. I didn't know. I didn't really want to be around the guy, but damn, that guy could coach some football. You know, I felt like something was going to emerge out of him, like a snake coming out of an egg, and ultimately that's what happened. So that's probably why I felt that way. I could just sense the evil inside that guy. So
you sensed it, yeah. You are an energy guy, Stank.
I am.
Yeah, and I think you felt that because you were barefoot that day as well. So you were right next to him, and that's kind of you touching grass, right? That's you getting in that energy's transferring through the earth.
Me and Antoine were barefoot together. Don't take this out of context. Me and Antoine Winfield Jr. were barefoot together. We're talking about feet. We're talking about why he's so great and how he took, some pages out of my playbook. But anyways, yeah, that's what happens out there, And so we don't know. We haven't met Grizz yet. I don't know what kind of Grizz has.
Yeah. Hey,
nailed it.
Nailed it.
You heard that? Okay.
Speaking of
good, we just don't know.
Speaking of barefoot, man, we're gonna be in Seattle in October, and you guys can join us and be barefoot with Stank at the stadium. Okay, and we have this tradition. All right, we always do the stadium tour wherever we go on these trips, and Stank has always done the stadium tour barefoot. He's on the field barefoot. He's left his barefoot germs all over these opposing stadiums throughout the NFL over the last 5 years of us doing this. Okay, you guys can go to
insert somebody's locker.
Yeah, and they got certain somebody ended up losing the Super Bowl because of the germs. Okay, obviously don't want to.
Put my stank on him, bro.
You did. You put your stank on him. So you guys can come with us to Seattle. Every year we go on an amazing away trip or two. This year we're going to Seattle and we're taking you with us. That means you get to enjoy VIP experience. That means the lower bowl, game tickets to the game against the Seattle Seahawks, who are, I think, going to be wearing the throwback jerseys for them. And, of course, the Bucs may be wearing their away creamsicles, which, yes, if that is the case, I will be rocking a white creamsicle jersey to the game, okay? You will get lower bowl tickets. You'll also get all-inclusive, all-you-can-eat, all-you-can-drink tailgate before the game. The night before that, on Saturday night, you're having a VIP party with us, the entire group. It's I believe, up to 75 people at this point. All you can eat, all you can drink scenario that we got going on. Of course, we always have surprise guests like a Jason Light, Warren Sapp. Could it be a Simeon Rice this year? We don't know. We can't tell you, but we might know. And of course, before that, you get to check into an amazing 5-star hotel, downtown Seattle, walking distance from everything you could possibly enjoy. And if you buy a 3-night package, you get to participate in that Saturday afternoon stadium tour for free. Just gotta thank you for joining us type of scenario. It's gonna be pretty fucking cool and pretty fun. Check it out on bucksawaygames.com or loosecannonstravel.com. It's gonna be a blast. Anyone who's gone on these trips can tell you guys in the group or in the chat here and in the comments. It's an amazing experience. Whether you even win or lose at the end of the trip doesn't even matter. It's so much fun. It's a blast, and we get to meet some cool people who may or may not know about the podcast. But I want to mention it one more time because this is it's going to be a fun one. It's Seattle. It's the what do they call it, the 12th man up there. It is loud. That's something I've wanted to check off my bucket list, and here we are in October. Have a chance to do that, Stank.
Sam, are we going to throw fish at each other?
And why not, man?
I
love throwing anything at you, honestly. So yeah, I'll throw fish at you.
I want to catch a big fish.
And then you're going to take a shit in the first ever Starbucks, right?
As soon as I get off the plane, I'm taking an Uber to wherever the first ever Starbucks is, so I can
take a shit.
Plant my seed, if you know what I mean, in that Starbucks bathroom. It's my goal. All right. It's what I do. I usually do disrespect the city that I'm in a good way, in a positive way. And so I got to do that. That's on my bucket list, literally. And so I can't wait. But there's all kinds of stuff to do there, right? Are we gonna go see some fucking Nirvana cover bands, right? Sam, are you gonna wear your hair down over your eyes? Huh? Are you gonna wear flannel? Because I feel like it's gonna be Sammer and flannel. I want to see emo Sammer come off the plane.
I don't have that. I don't have that one. Sorry.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
It's actually illegal for Arabs to own flannel. Like I would melt like a the witch does in Oz, I believe she melts, right? Or maybe she just
Punk rock Sammer. That would be a fun one to see.
Yeah, nice Wizard of Oz poem, by the way. I didn't
nice one. Yeah. That's
a punk rock Sammer. Yeah, that's not part of my iOS, man. I'm sorry.
What about a wallet with a chain? Can you at least do that?
I don't know.
Yeah, you probably can't fly. You probably can't get away with that on the plane. Not you.
I don't think you can.
I don't really trust my wallet in any scenario where you can just yank it with a chain.
The chain is on there.
Yeah, I know, but then people want to touch the chain, and you know how I am about people getting close to me or even touching me, right?
But think about this, Sammer. Yeah. You can ask people, "Hey, are you yanking my chain?" No. And then actually me.
Wow, the puns.
Yanking my chain.
As much as I'd love a dad joke like that, I feel like that's still beneath me, Stank. So yeah, I'm not doing that. But you know what? I am gonna wear a white creamsicle jersey. Okay, a white creamsicle jersey. If the Bucs are rocking the away jersey option there for that, I think they should. Obviously, the two teams came in at the same time. 50-year anniversary for both Seattle and the Bucs. It just makes so much sense to finally have a throwback on throwback game. They got those amazing throwback uniforms of theirs. We rock the whites with the orange pants, which I don't mind. Okay, but here now the question, Stank, and I've been thinking about this. One, where do I find said creamsicle white jersey? Because they aren't really anywhere to be bought. And two, what player am I wearing? Right? It's got to be a nice fitted one. I'm not wearing these big old school loose ones.
The last one I saw, and obviously the team will sell them if that's going to be the season. We'll see them at the stadium. But I think right now you could probably get the Doug Williams, Mitchell and Ness one. That's the one I've seen for sale that I see.
White?
At the stadium.
Is it white?
The white number 12 Doug Williams jersey. That's an actually officially quality, not team grade jersey. I think maybe Leroy Selman you might be able to find. I don't know, but they're out there.
My ideal scenario would be to get a white, either Warren Sapp or Derek Brooks. Those guys played in that white. That would be the ideal one to have. I'd wear it that one time, hang it up, never touch it again. Right? That would be the best case scenario for me. I love Doug Williams. I love this history with Leroy Selman, but I don't really resonate with those guys. They were before my time. But Derek Brooks, right before the pewters, that white, I'd take that. That's fine. And I'd, figure out a way to get him. Maybe a Mike Allstott thing. Maybe a Mike Allstott.
A nice
A
white A-train might look good on you, bro. You might have to. That might have me have
a white Allstott. Yeah, I'd go for that.
I mean, white 55 double nickel.
My first ever Bucs jersey was a white Eric Rhett jersey.
Oh, Eric Rhett. I remember number 32. Yeah, him and Warwick Dunn, by the way. Him and Warwick Dunn were a formidable duo in that one 1997 year. And Mike Allstott somehow getting in the mix as well. And then it became the Mike Allstott and Rondé Barber, not Rondé Barber, Warwick Dunn show. But yeah, no, I mean, I feel like it should be Derek Brooks, right? I'm going to go retro. Like
George wants to get muted in the chat. He said barefoot germs with those funky feet. George, simmer down, sir.
Should I go ahead and put him in timeout?
Here's what's funny. We've run across all stopped multiple times on these trips, right? Green
Yep.
Bay. I
Mhm.
believe he was also there in there was another one we came across him in. What was it, man?
Was it KC? We saw him in KC too, didn't we?
In KC, yeah. So we've never had an all-star jersey on any of us when we see him. So maybe it's time. Maybe this is the year. Man, they should
The
just
white 40.
They should allow you to customize them, or if they really do drop them, they should at least have some of these legend guys available. I assume they will. If I see any Tom Brady white creamsicles, I'm gonna punch you in the face if you're wearing that. I'm telling you right now. I'm
Ew.
warning you. If I come across you and you're wearing a Tom Brady white creamsicle, I'm going to punch you in the face. Whether it's from China or Fanaticals and whatever the fuck the website's called now, and the Bucs sell it to you, I don't care. I'm gonna punch you in the face because that is bullshit, right? That 12 belongs to Trent Dilfer, not Tom Brady.
I agree.
It belongs to the man who could not win a game and couldn't keep the interceptions down and had to fuck up the 9-6 potential every single week. He earned that 12, Stank. He earned that 12.
He did. He earned it. He blood, sweat, and tears. No wins, but a lot of other emotions and things in that white jersey. Yeah, Tom. You know, I guess he deserved to wear it. I don't know. I don't know if he got permission or not.
He didn't, 'cause he's
Tom seems like the type that would
rude guy. No.
Yeah, he's rude. He's rude. Whatever.
But hey, what about a Hardy Nickerson?
Definitely seen a white Hardy Nickerson. I have an orange one. But it's made out of like the original football
Mesh.
jersey material. Yeah, the one that you can see through the holes.
Yeah,
It looks like like the practice pennies, bro. It's the most uncomfortable material. You itch the entire time. The fucking sewn on numbers, bro. You could cut somebody if you run into them. It's so heavy. You could be great in like Buffalo to wear a heavy ass jersey like that, but not here in Tampa. I can't never wear it.
I want it to be newly made by the Bucs, so it's got that fitted look to it. But I would get a Derrick Brooks,
like a Vapor, like a Nike Vapor one.
Yeah, real nice stitched up
with the 50 patch on it. With the 50 patch.
With the 50 patch.
This 50 patch on it. Yes.
Yeah. Number
Yes.
55 with the orange trim on there, right? White. I'd rock the white jersey. It looks okay. I don't mind because the creamsicle material they use on the jersey itself when they go orange on white, it just doesn't look good. The orange pants are a different neon orange color. And then the numbers, different orange as well. So again, it's one of those scenarios. Are they going to fuck that up when they go white?
No, I think they're going to go with the same creamsicle that they have now. And the pants should probably match the neon oranges that we wore, for that.
Wouldn't it be nice to see white on white, Stank? Wouldn't it be nice to see white on white?
I was about to ask that. Do you think they go white on white, all out, all white out?
They didn't do it very often, I think, but that white on white would look dope.
I think it's probable that it's going to be white on white. I think orange pants is getting a little crazy. I don't know that I think it's going to be the white on white creamsicles.
Did they rock the orange pants 1 year only, or did they go white on white 1 year only? I can't remember which one it was. I feel like I've seen the orange pants a lot more than I've seen the white on white look.
No, the white on white was forever for many seasons. The orange pants, I don't know when the orange pants came around. I don't know. Somebody can ask their AI or Google it and let us know how many seasons wore the orange pants.
Either way, it's gonna be fun. So if you guys want to join us out in Seattle, I'm probably gonna come up with a new discount code. You know what? Stank, what was the year that the Bucs came into the league? What was that year?
76.
1976. All right, so I'm gonna put up a discount code tonight. All right, we'll call it Creamsicle. Creamsicle discount code on bucksawaygames.com will get you $76 off any package.
That's the code right there.
Yeah, we were doing 100 a couple weeks ago. I'm gonna do $76 discount with the code Creamsicle. I'll put that up in there. I'll probably blast it off on X/Twitter and Facebook. Before we leave, I believe our intern Izzy has a few words for you guys.
Yes, I do. Before we wrap up, we got a brand new Discord that we've just launched. Don't forget to join the hosts off that. We have a community where the Bucs fans come together, they hang out, they talk about the latest news, the rumors, all the exclusive bonus content. We have that Cannon Cartel, $3. That's like less than a cup of coffee at your local Starbucks or wherever you go. Chip in, join in, exclusive stuff, exclusive merch that comes along with that, some behind the scenes stuff, Q&As, some watch parties for away games that we do not go to. Go ahead and join up with that. And also, we got the Loose Cannons Live website, loosecannonslive.com. If you ever miss an episode, You have the YouTube channel, but also we have a website where every single episode is right there ready for you. LooseCannonsLive.com. All your episodes are right there for you. You will not miss a thing and whatnot. So Discord on lock and the website, check it out there. And also like, subscribe, comment, share this with everybody that you know, because this is the best Buccaneers podcast / YouTube channel of all time. And you love these guys right here.
Izzy.
100%.
Izzy, throw a question at those who are watching the show. Not to leave here in the live chat, but in the comment section. Why don't you come up with a question for Bucs Nation right now? You know, about what we've seen so far, about this mini camp. You know, give us a little question that we can all have a conversation in the comments.
I'll give you 60 seconds to think of it, Izzy. In the meantime, just a quick little note, loosecannonslive.com. Not only can you watch the shows, you can also just listen directly off the website, or obviously click over to our Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean, wherever the fuck you listen to this shit, and enjoy it that way. But you can also watch it on Spotify as well. So make sure you guys check out the website. It basically has everything you need from us. It includes the links to our merch site, which I believe I need to update something on. But we're going to be dropping some new stuff here as we get closer to the season, obviously. But also don't forget, loosecannonstravel.com. Join us in Seattle. It's going to be a fucking blast. And we're going to be doing some really cool shit from there, man. We're going to be streaming, possibly streaming live from the hotel lobby Friday night there, Stank. So make sure I'll have my makeup team. Make sure you bring your makeup team, because I'm not going to let those guys use their brushes on my face and on yours, obviously. So
absolutely not.
Yeah, just keep that in mind. And I'll have my team with the light and all the lights and all that kind of stuff. But
yeah, shout out to the audio only listeners out there. I know there's a ton of people who just go old school podcasts. They don't want to see my face. They would rather just listen to this, and wherever you get it, you download it on Napster like I do. That's how I listen to every episode. We appreciate you. A lot of love out there. A lot of truck drivers out there. People who are on the road all the time. They can't stare at their phones. They don't want to pay for the YouTube Premium, and so they do the OG style content. But,
King Cook, Stank. King Cook asked a question. Actually, do you guys think we'll have two double-digit sack guys this season? I do. I think Yaya and Haason Reddick are going to be double-digit sack guys, and I want to say, do not write off one Kalijah Cansey.
Yeah, I was going to say,
led the team in sacks after I believe he missed 6 games last year. If he stays healthy, Kalijah Cansey's a problem, and I could see him being he's next to Vita Vea, so naturally he's gonna get better matchups, but he's a guy that demands some double team action as well. So I could see a scenario where you got 8-9 sacks out of him, and you got 10+ sacks out of Yaya and Haason Reddick, and Yaya's got a chip on his shoulder because he should have had more sacks last year. But when you have no middle linebacker and 0 cornerbacks playing, defense as well, you could rush the passer as quickly as possible. You're not getting there in time because they're going to just throw the ball. And I think that was a lot of what happened to Yaya last year, Stank.
Yeah, I think.
What about Desmond Watson?
Practice squad guy.
Practice squad.
Yeah. I don't know that he makes his team. Maybe. Who knows when we get that
He'd
guy.
be a situational goal line guy. Maybe
he's not a pass rusher.
Not pass rusher.
I think Kalijah leads his team in sacks. I do. I think we may get double digit off the edges, but I believe that this is Kalijah's year to really fucking make an absolute. We know him here in Tampa, and I think there's a handful of national guys who know how good that guy is. But
he's got Aaron Donald potential, Stank.
He might just be the most talented guy on that front when it's all said and done, especially when it comes to pass rush skills. So I think he leads the team in sacks, and maybe we get one more double digit guy. Hasan's trying to get paid, and so is Yaya, by the way. Yaya is coming up on a potential contract, so he's looking to put numbers up. So yeah, man, it's a good problem to have, and they're all out there, they're gonna be fighting for them things.
Feels like a 50-60 sack kind of team, Stank, this year, especially now that we got some guys outside on the back end that can actually cover, and they'll be playing a little bit more man press. They're going to be closer to the wide receiver. They're going to make you fucking earn that shit every single fucking yard, man. Imagine that, dude. Imagine not having wide open guys to throw the ball to. I'm getting jacked right now, man. This is a 70 sack season. Are we going 75 sack? We going Monty Kiffin 75 sack seasons again, baby?
I mean, they're going to get their opportunities. This offense is going to put up points. You're going to have desperate opposition trying to put up numbers, picks, turnovers, defensive scores, like you said. And by the way, speaking of YouTube Premium, Zach Jarvis says he's a UPS driver and he pays for YouTube Premium just so he can listen to our podcast. We're obviously we're a UPS podcast here. The intro done by Gio the OG, UPS driver. Obviously, Poppy Latte probably in the truck right now. He's definitely. I share a YouTube Premium account with him, so we know that we're big with the Brown. So
it's a Brown podcast. Is it not a Brown podcast? I mean,
pretty much.
It was predominantly Brown for the longest. So yeah. I mean,
still is actually.
Still is. So yeah, and Zach Jarvis. If you don't want to pay for YouTube Premium, you could just listen to us on Spotify as well. So you could actually watch us on Spotify. You could actually watch video on that thing now, if anyone didn't know. All right, Izzy, unless you don't have a question, I'm ready to fucking watch some NBA Finals.
Actually, I do.
And root for the Pacers to make this a 7-game series so that we can extend this long offseason as long as possible in terms of having some sports to watch, okay? Go ahead, Izzy.
Hell yeah. All right, rookie-wise, who does everybody think is going to be the biggest contributor on this team going into the 50th season and also rooting for the Pacers in 7th?
Hell yeah. Okay, you guys leave the answer to that question in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, grab your grandma's phone that she doesn't know how to use, download YouTube to it, and hit the subscribe button for us too. That'd be awesome. We're trying to get to 6,000 subs before the season starts, and hopefully up to 7,000 by the end of the season. So other than that, Stank, unless you have anything else to add, man, I think it's time to fucking call it a night.
It is. We'll be back next week. For more incredible content. So again, make sure you like and subscribe. The question we didn't answer earlier, where I get this hat, I got it at the team store. Sammer was gifted that hat. I don't think you can even get those anymore. Can you?
I tried to buy it when it first came out. It couldn't. They sold out.
They sold out, special edition. But Duvin is going to be dropping some more collabs with the Bucs this year around the creamsicle time. They've got the 50 year anniversary stuff going on with the Bucs. So throughout the season, there are going to be some cool limited edition drops that play off the retro look. Maybe some of these hats will come back, maybe not, but I know they're definitely going to be doing some cool stuff coming up. So when that happens, we'll let you guys know, and we'll probably share the links and everything because they're probably going to send us the shit too. We didn't ask for them; they just showed up. So and that also includes that ridiculously nice button down that Emeka wore when he first arrived at One Buc after they drafted him. So make sure you guys
still have mine, and I've never worn it. Maybe I'll give it away.
Maybe man.
I've been wearing mine left and right.
Never been more. I think I have a fresh new one. So
I wear mine to Home Depot, and I wear it when I grill. So
ooh.
Just that though.
Just that. That's all I wear. That's right. Damn right. Go Bucs.
Go Bucs.
It's kickoff, set it off. Go to Vegas, bet it all. Put it on the Bucs win, whoever they gon' play gon' fall. Don't say I ain't told y'all. Loose cannons gon' fold y'all. Yeah, the Heat be 9-3, but it gets real cold in the fall.